try, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise, I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome into Pregaming here Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Sports Money. Appreciate everybody coming in to hang out with me tonight while we dive in and bust up this card, try to find a way to kick the bookies right in the face. It's going to be a big night tonight. You guys see the deal. We got a lot of ground to cover, and you know we never have enough time to do it. So got to get to work. Make sure you guys get in here early, and on your way in, smash that thumbs up button for us. Disappointing college football game last night. Florida State didn't have it. They didn't have it. Some great live spots too. I thought I took at the end, but just the points, took some plus 6.5 and got there. The rest of the card, split baseball. It's a Monday, but we're on to Tuesday, you guys. Quickly becoming one of the favorite nights of the week. We got the big live stream tonight for Dana White Contender Series. Hopefully you guys come by and check us out. 7:40 p.m. start. I like when they push it back to 8. It gives us more time to talk about the card that we have today. We're going to do a similar format with today's card as well. So stay tuned, get ready. And, 7:40, we'll break down the 5 fights in the Dana White Contender Series. And shout out Fanatical Jim again. 10 units. I think it was like 9.8 units last week in his Dana White Contender Series. Week number 3. You guys recall week number 1. Busted up almost 18 units out there from the entire Major League Baseball card and the Dana White Contender Series. Who's going to be the big winner tonight? Is it going to be MMA Jeff? Is it going to be Subhuman Gaucho? Is it going to be me again? Maybe it's Fanatical Jim. You guys are going to have to tune in to check it out. I'm going to tell you this. I got some nice plus money spots on that card. I think we might see some dogs barking tonight. Week number 4 for the Contender Series here. It looks like some big lines out there. But before we get to combat, let's take the combat to these bookies with the Major League Baseball card. You'll see the deal on the side. We got a player parlay. It's going to be a cross-border, WNBA and the Major League Baseball. It's a 4-legger, just under 11 to 1. Got to get one of these guys. It's taking a long time to put these things together, man. Got to get one of these. We need a return on our investment. Then we're going to jump into baseball. We got Patrick Corbin Day and the Marlins. Game number 1 of a series at home. Does the over trend continue? We got the Rockies, Kevin Freeland on the road against Chris Sale and them Atlanta Braves. The Yankees, big battle between Rodon and Andrew Heaney. Seattle and Oakland. I forgot who's pitching. I don't know if it really matters. We'll talk about it, though. I got it written down. Don't you guys worry. We got the Dodgers and Walker Buehler going on the mound against Ginn for the Angels. We have one WNBA play today. That's going to start at 7 p.m. It's the Storm and the Sun. I'll talk to you guys about how I'm attacking that game. I found some more nuggets to share for you guys here, both in college football. We're going to talk about the NC State-Tennessee spot, just a trend to consider as you're waiting to get that action loaded for Saturday. It will be a 7 p.m. game. And the NFL. Got a nice little twist on the NFL today for you guys. Take a look at some week 1 numbers. Yesterday we talked about the under teams. Yesterday we talked about the dogs and their relevance in week number 1. Today we're going to talk quarterbacks in week number 1. Got a quick breakdown. I think 6 of them. 6 of them I think we have to go through and look at their numbers. So a lot of work to do. Appreciate everyone coming through, man. Make sure, again, hit that thumbs up button. You guys are lacking. It's lacking and lacking here. I need you guys' help, man. If you haven't done so, you know what? As much as we don't have time, the next 10 seconds now. Make sure you guys get down there and hit that thumbs up button. Close out the comments. Push the thumbs up. Open up the comments. And get ready to fire, you guys. Grab that pen and paper. The chat's ready. I'm ready. Are you ready? Let's freaking go. I had to curtail that thing because we're not at the 8-minute mark yet. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So lots to cover with you guys. Know the deal, man. The sharpest chat in the game assembles here to share their favorite looks to cook these books. We've been marinating on the card all day long. Now it's time to put that book to action. Make sure we can do what we can to get paid today. So bear with me. I just realized I need to do something. I realized I didn't. You know what? You guys got a couple extra seconds. Go smash that thumbs up button. Make sure you do it. Need the help, man. Need you guys. Everybody counts here on this team. We all need to get out there and support the cause. And you do so by hitting that thumbs up button. All right. There we go. There we go. We're going to start off taking a spin through the chat. Let's see what's doing out there because I know my guy is fired up to share his action tonight. Look at Joe T. Look at Joe T's record with what he's been doing out there. Make sure you follow him both on X, and you can find his plays over on the community section of the Sports Money YouTube site. Look across the top. You're going to see videos. You're going to see shorts. Couple ways down the line, you're going to see community. You pop in there. Never know what we're going to have out there. I know Joe T drops his plays out there every day for the most part. Unless he's on vacation. And even if he's on vacation, he still does it for you guys. So make sure you check that out. He's got his plays today. I got to fix this thing here. Something changed here. And there we go. I was like, man, that doesn't quite look right. But Joe T tightening up these bookie series, giving you guys the Nats and the Marlins over 8. The Dodgers and the Angels over 9. Sliding the team total in there. He's got the Cubs team total over 3.5. And the White Sox Orioles over 8.5 out there. Interesting spot there with that White Sox Orioles. Man, I want to go back in there and clobber that White Sox first 5. I didn't make an official play on it. But it is action I want to take. So we'll see what that looks like out there. My dude Stacks in the house. Justin McKelvey giving you a little Jose Ramirez over 1.5 bases at plus 107. And he's giving us more Stacks action. Stacks on Stacks, baby. The Blue Jays. He likes the over 9 in that Blue Jays game. People know I do shit at 6 p.m. Stop calling. Daryl Jones says he's on an MLB heater. He wants the Mets minus 125. Shout out to Nana. Shout out to NJ Strikers on the Mets tonight. Pluton Bets likes the Mets minus 1.5 on the run line. And a humble and gentle Mexican says the Mets worry him. Marlins money line on the plate, though. Says, what's up, Mike Gang? What the fuck? Uh-oh. Mario Barras, 420 in the house says, what up? Let's pimp slap these books. Appreciate my dude Mario coming in the house. Big Scott's here. He's ready. He's giving you guys his action for the Contender Series. Killian Moneyline, Shannon Clark versus some bum under 2.5. Small plus money play for Big Scott 510. Thanks for stopping in, Big Scott. Kirk B says, I bet FSU too. They didn't show up. They certainly did not. Shout out to Talk Sports with JT. Justin McCovey says, when do you sleep? I'll sleep when I'm dead. I will sleep when I'm dead. In the meantime, money never sleeps. We always got to get it in action, my dude. You know, late to bed, early to rise. That's the grind in this business that we do. Dana White, Big Scott says, Dana White Contender Series lines are definitely too wide Shout out to Sub. Cameron Sinette's in the house, my dude. Says Fritzy Navarro. Let's go. Let's go. Jerry Davis says, Nasty, you spelled get smashed wrong. Shout out to my nephew Oldies in the house. Not quite off work, but we rolling, he says. Julian Cesario says, what's up, pimp? Last week was great. This week, not so much. Cubs and Mariners both winning whole game and lose. Yeah, man. Damn, right? Damn. Brian Smith hammered the over 5. First 5 in the Baltimore White Sox game. Leaning over 5.5 for the Baltimore team total. Man, I just want to get that. I want to get that White Sox spot home today here. The first 5 plus a half, right? Come on. Come on. Big Scott says TFO plus 135. He also says 62 viewers. Should see 62 likes. I agree, man. What are you guys doing out here? Bless our action tonight by hitting that thumbs up button. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Come in here, hang out. We'll guide you through this sports card. All we ask you to do is hit that thumbs up. And Mikey, you have any thoughts or plays on this Chinese woman? Plus 270. I do, and I took Sabalenka. Assuming you're talking about Jinwen Zhang. And I'm on Sabalenka. I took Sabalenka to win 2-0. Sweeper. It was minus 120. That's my thoughts on that. This is Sabalenka time, man. It used to be a time where she couldn't cross over quarters or make any kind of action happen. But man, she's flipped that gear the past 12 to 18 months or so. She's been firing, and I think she easily handles this competition tonight. There you go. Crystal Craig in the house. Big Scott says, don't fade Savvy. Yeah, man. Sabalenka used to be a time where we would take her, and she would lose in the semis. And, you know, my brother and I had a saying that I won't share, but certainly had to do with what we get for playing on Sabalenka. But she's flipped the gear. Let's go here. Appreciate you guys here. I see Freeze Pop. You're straight now. Okay. Yeah, my internet took an opportunity to put a big giant shit on what we're trying to do here tonight. So can't have it. Let's get going, though. Let's go. We got early plays to cover. We got action to get into. Want to make sure everyone's got time to get these plays in here. Let's go. Here we go. And for what it's worth, you guys, some of these spots, like specifically for college football in the NFL, where I was sharing some of these numbers and trends and angles and maybe official plays, maybe not, but drop in the shorts area, because what I'm going to do is clip those things just so that anybody that missed them, or you get to Saturday and you're like, what was he saying again about this spot? You'll find it in the shorts area there. Just me in a 60-second basically recap of a snip from the show. So really easy for you guys to make sure that you can kind of sit on it, think about it for a couple of days. And then, by the way, we will fire on the weekend. So here you go. 4 legs. We're going to start off with Marcell Ozuna, 2+ bases for the Atlanta Braves. We got Butler for the Oakland Athletics to get 1 or more hit. We've got Billy the Kid Contreras, 1+ RBI. Righty, good battle. And then Alicia Gray, 2+3s. Connecticut Sun game, Storm and Sun, 2+3s for Gray. And that's plus 1042. By the numbers, I looked at this one. I told you guys Freeland. Freeland better at Colorado in Coors than he is on the road. He's rolling out there with a 7.34 ERA on the road, which means it's a great spot for guys like Marcell Ozuna, who's hitting .317. He's got a .921 OPS against lefties. This guy should easily get on base. And when he gets on base, he should roll his ass right around there. And then we look at the other side of things for the vulnerability with Freeland. Righties on his thing. He's got over 300 average to right-handed batters as well. And at the 3 position, we're going to get plenty of go rounds for Ozuna. Should have 5 at-bats minimum. Should get on base. I'm assuming he gets on base, at least half of his at-bats, and probably advances and gets a score in there as well. I have him projected to score a run, which means he's got to run his ass around 3 bases to get in there for us. I like a little Ozuna, 2+ bases. I went to Butler. Butler with Oakland. We're going to talk about this game, and I'll give you guys the sneak peek here. I'm taking Oakland. I'll give you some trends that kind of go along with that as we get to the game. But I thought, here's a spot with Butler. We need 1 hit. He's gotten a hit in each of his last 12 games for Butler. Taking a hit with Butler. William Contreras, he's in the 3 position out there. He's hitting .314 against lefties. And guess who he's up against? A lefty, Steven Matz. And guess where Matz is vulnerable? Righties. .344 against righties. He's a .261 against lefties. He's a .344 against righties. Probably bad news here. We are American Field. We got 9-mile-an-hour winds going straight out the center. Perfect scoring conditions. I expect him to knock in a homer. We just put the RBI in the parlay. And then I mentioned Gray. Alicia Gray. She's gotten 2 or more threes in 5 of her last 6 games out there to bring us home. 4 legs. Just a smidge under 10.5 to 1. That's how we're going to open up our card, you guys. Let's see if we can get that cash here. Let's see if you guys can smash that thumbs up button. I want to get a thumbs up report. Let's go. Somebody tell me how many thumbs up we got. Let's go. Freeze Pop McGee. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. How many thumbs up we got? If we don't get a chance to get through it because you guys can't hit the thumbs up button, that's not on me. I put all this shit on the side that you see there. All of it. I'm ready to go on all of it. Plus more. Wait till we get into tonight. 56. 56 likes. I literally spent all afternoon slaving over a hot stove for you guys. I got done entering all this shit with 4 seconds before I hit the go live button. 4 seconds. Little countdown, guys. I need your help, man. Hit that thumbs up button. Let's get to tonight's action. Let's talk about these games. You know the deal. We're going to look at sides, totals, props. We're going to talk about the splits and the trends. We're going to use percentage of bets, percentage of money from the Action Network. And if you're new here, we talk about the bets, kind of a sample of what the public's on, right? This is all the tickets that are being written. So it's going to be inclusive of parlay bettors, prop bettors, multi this and that bettors, first 5 full games. It's all of it. It's the soup. It's every ticket that's been written for that game based on, in this case, a 19,331 ticket sample. Then we look at the percentage of cash. The percentage of cash, probably more indicative of sharper bettors, at least bigger bettors that aren't messing around with parlays. They're just coming up to the window with a backpack full of cash and they're saying, please book my action. And when they book that action, we see how the public, we see how the sharps are operating, and then we try to determine what the books are saying about the way that action has gone down. We look at this game, and it opened up as a small dog for the Nats, plus 102. Only 40% of the bets, but 70% of the cash on the Nationals. Line's gone to minus 102. So flip from plus 102 to minus 102. The Marlins side was minus 120, now minus 115. And this total, flirting between 8 and 8.5. 79% of the bets and 86% of the cash on this over. You know, as far as my action and how I'm getting down in this game, I'm double dipping this one to start the card off here. I had to. And I'll explain why I had to. I got the Nats at even money. Patrick Corbin Day, but we look at Patrick Corbin. We all know that, right? It's Patrick Corbin Day. It's Patrick Corbin Day. It's Patrick Corbin Day. But Patrick Corbin, you know, don't look now. Guy's starting to find a way to get some W's. He's in a contract year. Probably going to be determining whether or not he wants to continue to play baseball or not. Now, he sucks on the road. He's 1-7 on the road. But, man, he's got back-to-back wins. One game against Colorado. Okay. Beat up the Yankees, 4-2. Here's the thing. Yeah, he beats up the Yankees, 4-2, that hot and explosive bats. He goes 6 innings. He only allows 2 hits. He gets 6 Ks. Plays the Rockies at home, back-to-back home games for this guy. 6 innings again. 4 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, but 8 Ks. He's got a double dipper with 2 spots there. He lost to the Phillies 3-2. He beats the Angels 5-4, only 2 Ks in those spots. But another team with some bats that can get hot, San Francisco, 6 Ks. So on average, he's rolling out there to a tune of about 6 Ks a game here on the road, particularly with 46 Ks against the Marlins team. This Marlins team? Come on. let me talk to you guys. Let me talk to you about this here. First of all, kind of go to I guess second of all now. We go to the over 7.5. This is bought down or teased down from 8. So that Nats in the over at plus 235 at 7.5. I don't know how many runs we do see in this game, but I have a feeling we're going to see enough to get to 8. And that's going to be where we cash. That's the reason I didn't just take the total, because I expect the Nats to win. I'll tell you why. Game 1. How about this one? The opponent off a win as a dog. That's Miami. Just won on the road at San Francisco. 7-5. What happens in game 1? Off a win as a huge dog. They shit the bed. You're 51-22 if you fade that spot. 51-22. It's 9-1 its last 10. Not to mention, we've heard about what happens when teams leave San Francisco. We heard about what happens when teams leave Coors. We've also heard from our guy Nutflush about some of the difficulty teams have when they leave San Francisco. You're giving me an even money spot at 51-22 ratio. These are the numbers. We got the above 500 road team in play again as well. No. It's the team coming home that we're fading on this as well, which again fits into that San Francisco window. Now the total, 12-0-2 to the over for the Marlins at home when the total's at least an 8. 12-0-2. Huge run for that thing going on right now. And then last but not least, teams off a win and an over as a dog. 76-31 to the over as well. So I didn't expect to even talk about this game as long as I just did. But, it's important to note because we do have action on it, where that action is, why it's there, and why I think it makes a lot of sense. So that's the number we want to get down to right there, you guys. The Nats at even money, the Nats in the over 7. And that's how we open the card up. That's how we get rolling. Rob McMahon's in the house. Says, what's good, Mike Money? Get these bookies. Hashtag Vodka style. And says, fuck FSU. Yeah, man. It's funny because I was joking with a buddy last night. I was like, man, crushed it over the weekend. But the one that leaves the bad taste in my mouth is the game on Monday. And how about the NFL is talking about potentially doing Labor Day NFL games all Labor Day weekend long. Don't be surprised you see them punch this season back a week here, move it up so that we can get Labor Day NFL action and take the focus away from college football. Speaking of the focus here, I wasn't excited about this Major League Baseball card. It's just like it's vanilla to me. These plays just kind of, what else are we going to do? We're looking at the Rockies and the Braves, right? Normally I'm excited about it. I mean, I'm excited about the chance to make some fucking money. But you need me to tell you to fade the Rockies in this spot? Huge number, minus 375, but coming down slightly. So some bets coming in that are problematic for the books. 96% of the bets and 92% of the cash are on the Braves. Whoa. They've gone from minus 375 to minus 350, but not all line movements are created equal. The Rockies have gone from plus 300 to plus 325. There you go. Total's dropping too. 8s are now 7.5s in this game. It's Chris Sale Day. We got 90% of the bets and 92% of the cash on them overs, right? So we've got everybody thinking there's going to be runs. We got everybody saying it's an easy spot for the Braves. I don't disagree. I hate this one. You guys, I don't promote the runs and the cash very often. The one spot that I was looking at for this game here very often, in fact, this might be the first time all year, right? 7:20 start though. As I was looking at it here, I think you could probably play the ladder game here. Let's just take a look and see. Yeah, minus 2s, minus 120, 2.5s, plus 109, 143, 170. I mean, you could probably lay all the way up to 3.5 in this spot. That's where the biggest drop off comes in here is Atlanta minus 3.5 goes from plus 170. The minus 4 has, it's 52 cents of movement. That's the biggest gap, right? So when we kind of look at the ladder game, if you will, not the ladder game of actually playing all those spots, just trying to look where the books expect there to be the vulnerability. Where is the incremental, growth change? If it's 30 cents every step of the way, and then you see a big step off to 50 cents, That's kind of where you want to highlight and circle it to say, I wouldn't go past that. I mean, minus 2.5 is plus 109. You take the play. I'm on the minus 1.5. You could probably pretty comfortably take that plus 2.5 as well. Kind of led with the back end of this thing first, but I mentioned it already. You know, Freeland. I talked about his numbers when we talked about the Ozuna spot. Chris Sale is a fucking machine. After he throws 100 pitches or more, he's 10-0 the next game. He's not one of those guys where the arm gets tired. He's 15-3. He's got that 2.58 ERA. And it's a bad look for them boys that like to strike out in Colorado. They're 19-50 on the road. They're not playing for shit. 32-37 are the Rockies against the run line. It's not a good team. It's just not. There's no way to sexify this thing here, right? We can't sexy it up and talk about what it's not here. It's an Atlanta spot. Take the minus 1.5. Move it to minus 2.5 if that's what you want to do. Sale's got 42 strikeouts in the month of fucking August. He's well over 1 strikeout per inning. And you got the Rockies, Major League Baseball highest, 28.1% K rate. You got to take advantage. If you want to get cute and you want to put, let's see here. Maybe we do get cute with this one. Maybe we add this spot. Let's see. What if we take the Braves on the run line and we add, well, they're not even gonna let me on DraftKings. We've clipped DraftKings enough where they know you got a big spot like that, you're gonna put a K prop together with it. Maybe I would look to do the K prop option though. See if you can get the Ks combined with the Braves. Maybe that'll take the juice down a little bit more for you guys. But I'm on the Braves. Let's keep her going. We got action to get to. Not a lot of time to do it. So let's go. Shout out to Peter Gracias. Is something like busy working still since the stock market hit today. Drive systems crazy. Ready for action though. Let's go. Shout out to you, Peter. Shout out to Nunya. Says I like taking that Nats money line. That would be a fatty. Does anyone else in the chat have a play against the Nats? Says I want to bet Braves, but it ain't going to be on that parlay. I put the Braves and the Dodgers together earlier this morning at even money. I mean, what are you going to do? You know, you can't tell me that Colorado's a play in this game. Now watch them come out there and fucking win by 7 runs. Oops, I skipped one. I skipped the big game here. Skipped an important game here. Look, yesterday we capitalized on this Yankee spot. It was an easy Yankees win. I know a bunch of you guys agreed in the chat and said this looks like a Yankee smash spot. It sure was. We have 82% of the bets and 93% of the cash on the Yankees. They open up at minus 136. They've moved to minus 154. Got heavy action on the run line. 92% of the bets, 76% of the cash on the minus 1.5. And you guys know the deal. We hear it from Kelly V a lot. KV drops in there and tells us some of these teams win or lose, but they do it by the run line a lot. Then we have a total that's moved from 9 to 8.5. There's still some 9s out there, but 97% of the bets and 92% of the cash are on the over. The lines come down. I'm on the under 9 in this game. And if you got to, pay up to get it, then so be it. You can take the 8.5. That's fine. The 8.5 is even money as well. I saw some troubling numbers. I'll be honest with you. We talked about Rodon being in the fade spot before. He's got that 4.31 ERA. He's also in a L5 situation. He's lost 5 games in a row in this line window on the road. So I wasn't too excited to jump in on the Yankees in this game. I could see it. But you know what I like even better? Let me take a step back. The Yankees are 8-1 in 9 road games when they score 6 or more runs. We've talked about the importance of that. When a team's bats are hot on the road, they stay hot. 8-1 are them Yankees. They're averaging 7.1 runs a game in this spot. Does that open the team total up? Well, it's 4.5. So it's not the 5.5 number I don't like to get involved with. It's 4.5. So I could certainly support anybody playing that. But then I started thinking about Heaney. Remember we talked about Heaney the pitching coach change out there and how it's made an impact in his ERA numbers across the board, his spin rates, his velocity, everything's been improved with a new pitching coach. So I thought, well, you know what? The Rangers, they're 24th in WRC plus the last 14 days. Certainly not good, to say the least. And then from a Rodon perspective, what concerned me about the Yankee spot is this L5. But his under is a perfect 5-0. His last 5 starts against non-divisional opponents. The average line is 8.8. The average final, 3-2. 3-2. What's up, Scump Blaster? It's good to see you, my dude. So I jumped in. I took this under. You know, the 9s were out there at minus 120s. I like an 8.5 at even money. I don't think that hook's going to matter as much. At this point, if you can only get the 8.5 and you can't get the 9, yeah, fine. We're seeing 3-2s, like a 4-2 type of final for this game. Although I want to be careful because I gave that exact projection on the Seattle game yesterday, and I was way off. But the under didn't cash, so that was the sad part about that here. But I like this under. I like this under. I know Joe T probably won't like it with his assault on the unders, but I felt like this was a good spot for him. Chris Sella, over 2.5 earned runs for Freeland. I can see that. Jerry Davis says Rangers aren't hitting left-handed pitchers. Send the Yankees in the under, even before I saw Seager was out of the lineup. Seager's out of the lineup, but it's still priced around a minus 150. Kind of. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Rangers win this game. I'll be honest. Joe T says, I'm not on that game. So you're good. Good. Yankees. 8.5s, 9s. Check it out. It starts at 8.05. So you got, look, it's not going to go. Well, I don't want to jinx it, but it's not going to go below 8.5. So you got time. See if there's some late minute dummies that want to come in there and say over. Shouldn't say that. We appreciate those late minute buyers giving us better opportunities to live bet. So shouldn't say that. But I said it. I guess I own it. You say it, you own it, right? That's the way we do it around here. 9:40 p.m. the Seattle Mariners on the road against the Oakland Athletics. And shout out to mediocrity here with them Seattle Mariners. 69-69. Sporting out Castillo like he's going to scare him. And then you got Ginn on the other side. I'm pretty sure it's Ginn. Seems like it's Ginn. Gin. I don't know. Castillo's 11-12, though. The guy's not really out there ripping it up. And it's because of those bats. He's 4-7 on the road. He's got a 4.35 ERA, so he's playing worse on the road than he does at home. We look at JT Ginn. 2.45 ERA. He went 5 innings his last start. 4 earned runs, though. Wasn't his finest hour, to say the least. And then as we talk about the splits, I think I missed the splits here, right? The Mariners kind of open up like a Yankee spot. Minus 148's moved to minus 154. Same number as the Yankees. 79% of the bets and 83% of the cash on the Mariners. Then you look at the total, and it's moved up a full run. 7.5 is now 8.5. 71% of the bets and 79% of the cash on that over. Interesting. Last game, 5-4 yesterday. We talked about trying to get on that under. I still want to get on that under. I still do. I'm not going to do it, though. Not going to do it. Let's not forget, the Mariners just fired their general manager. The Mariners did have that quick spring back. They won a game after they fired their general manager, but they're still the Mariners. They're still hitting poorly, and I still want to get me an opportunity to get some plus money cash. I had to jump in on the Oakland side of the house here. Whoops, it's not 165, is it? I told you guys I didn't I didn't have a lot of time. I literally had seconds, 4 seconds to be exact, before the show started, and literally getting it all typed in. So excuse me while I correct that. But I'm looking at Oakland, and I'll tell you, I'll give you guys, the Seattle team, with what's been going on between the coaching, the pitching, the batting, all of the inconsistencies, and then an Oakland team that profitable. They've been profitable since the All-Star break, probably the most profitable team in baseball. I want to get behind it. Then I started looking into it more. Not only do I want to get behind the Athletics, it's a great fade spot of the Mariners. They're 0-6 straight up and against the spread. Their last 6 games of a game 2 in a series. So they lost yesterday, and they don't do well in that second game of a series. They're just done. They're just checked out. They're only averaging 2.6 runs a game in those spots as well. And they were favorites in 5 of those 6 game 2s, just like they are tonight. And they lost those 5 games. Fade those Mariners, move on and take some Oakland, get some plus 135. I don't know why the hell everybody's on this Mariners team here, especially, we just talked about the pitching inadequacies on the road when it comes to the Seattle Mariners team, or the batting and pitching inadequacies here. And then you look across the board and you got guys like JJ Bleday, 429, Shea Langoliers, 385, Seth Brown, 250, Zach Geloff, 333s. I talked about Butler having a hit in 12 of his last games. Those bats are coming together, and they're not scared of Luis Castillo. Neither am I. I moved in on the Oakland Athletics. I got the plus 135. I think we got one baseball game, right? One more baseball game. We got to get going. We got this WNBA spot popping off as well. So we want to make sure we talk about that game. Gerald Jones says, on Oakland and Milwaukee as well. Then he says, I still never found out how to turn the gifting on. Isn't there, you have to do it from the computer. And I believe it was on the right-hand side. The right-hand side of the chat there. There should be a little dollar icon. You see a little dollar icon? If you turn the comments off, you should see the dollar icon as well. We got plenty of time to figure it out. I appreciate you guys, man. Thanks for everybody rocking in with us here tonight. Last game for the Major League Baseball card. Last game, we got the Dodgers and the Angels. I already told you I put the Dodgers in a parlay. I'll spoil the surprise. I'm on the Dodgers minus 1.5. I mean, it's like I said, this is just kind of one of those cards where it was like, do you gotta get cute with it to cash off of it? And I don't think you do. 92% of the bets, 92% of the cash on the Dodgers, minus 174, now minus 178. We have a total at 9.5. 81% of the bets and 79% of the cash on the over. Dodgers bats are coming together, man. Now, Walker Buehler, if there is a weak link in this lineup here, it's this guy. 5.88 ERA on the season. Now, he's on the road, sort of, right? I mean, I don't know how far it is exactly from the Angels to the Dodgers, but I got to imagine it's sleep in your own bed distance. He's 0-2 on the road. He's rocking an 8.84 ERA. But he's only got 3 starts in the month of August. He's gone 2-1 in those starts. 6-4 against Baltimore, 6-3 against Seattle. He did lose 5-4 against the Brewers. They were red hot at the time. And he had that 2-month hiatus there where he was dealing with injuries. So a bloated ERA that we had to kind of peel the scab back on a little bit to see what the hell was going on out there. And you need some numbers to back it up. I got some numbers. I got you covered. We got some numbers to talk about here. Road favorites. First game of a series. Off a road win of multiple runs are 29-4 on the run line. Covering the run line by just over 3.4 runs per game. And they won the series before the last game. So interesting spot out there. Basically, that tells me first game of a series, hot bats, you're winning, you're in that streak, and you're just going out there and rolling over the next team that's in front of you. That's these Angels that are going to get rolled over. Walker Buehler. Bounce back time, fella. You got the Wolves at bay. They're ready. Jack Flaherty. He'll kick your ass right out of there. Don't fuck with him. Don't fuck with me either. Let's get this Dodgers action. Minus 1.5, minus 120. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. What up, T-Mac? Thinking about the Storm first half and the under. Big Mouth Rob says, hey. What do you say, Rob? It's good to see you, my dude. Thank you for coming in. Gerald Jones says Ohtani, 46 stolen bases, going for the 50-50 club. Why not get it? Why not get it for him, right? All right. Let's keep her moving. Let's keep her moving, you guys. Keep her moving on down the line. We got the Dana White Contender Series tonight. Going to be live in exactly 1 hour. We're going to be back here again with the fellas, getting ready to do some live sports betting, cocktailing, making that money. Let's talk about this WNBA game. I know there's a 4-pack in the WNBA today. Look, the Sky and the Aces, I've been trying to fade away on, or I've been trying to fade the trend on the Sky as the home dogs, but without Kennedy, what's her name? Kennedy. It's too much. There's just not enough in that team, but the line's gone from 11.5 to 15, and the Aces have been struggling to cover double-digit numbers. They probably do kick the shit out of them. Just too big. The game I wanted to focus on, that was a game, by the way. That was the second game that I was going to take in the WNBA. So we'll see how the line moves. It's 10 p.m. We'll be live to talk about that. We've got the Storm and the Sun in a rematch. These two teams just played 2 days ago. Now, everybody's on the Sun. 90% of the bets, 92% of the cash on the money line for the Sun have made this thing swell from -120 to -166. And the line's moving as well. We got -1.5s now, -4s. 81% of the bets and 94% of the cash. You see the numbers. The 19-13 Seattle Storm coming back though from the the Olympic and All-Star break. They've been middling. Their last 3 games have gone over. They were on an under trend before that. These two teams I mentioned, they just played September 1st, so 2 days ago, and it was a fucking explosion of scores. They had 179 points on 157.5 total. What do we see typically when we see a team playing the second time? We kind of see the zigzag, right? We want to play out the zigzag theory and try to get to the opposite side of this thing. The validation point for me is where the line opened up. So they got 179 points that previous game that they played. But the line only moved, 2 points from where it opened up the previous game? And not only that, but you got 63% of the bets on the over. We don't have access to the cash. We just see the bets. And it's 63% of the bets on the over. Yet the line's dropped 2 points. It's dropped 2 points because of the sharp action. I got the Steam alert overnight. It fired up again earlier today. They like the under. The big bettors are taking this under. It's the revenge situation. They just played. It should be a lower scoring game. Shout out to you guys in the chat that were already looking at that over. I like that over. Dominic Diaz in the house. What up? This is Igor by KO. Let's go, my guy. Humble and gentle Mexicans in the house. Making jokes. My dude's got jokes. Markel says, I'm on the Orioles -4. It is what it is. What up, Tim? What up, Markel? That's what I was saying about the baseball card, dude. I'm like, I'm going to play it. I think there's good money to be made. I don't know. Gerald Jones says, only 21 games to fade the White Sox. Been fading every morning. See, I try to find the spot to hit them. That's the difference, I guess, between us, right? I wanted them the other day. They did not get it done, to say the least. But let's change gears, you guys. Let's roll on here. Let's take a fast forward. Let's jump in the old time machine and look at Saturday at 7 p.m. We got a neutral field college football game. And a big trend for you guys to consider yourselves with here. Something to write down, something to keep our eyes on, because interestingly enough, this number is continuing, if I could quote my boy Sub, to get wide. It's wider. It's too wide, in my opinion, out there. We got NC State. We got, let me move this. Let me move that. We got the Tennessee Volunteers. Interesting little battle here with these teams, and a great trend to talk about for you guys. Something to be concerned with here. Let me ask you this. What's wrong with the Wolfpack? Nothing. They came off with a big 1-0 start to their season. Look, they both played Cupcake University. So, 1-0 wins between each of those teams, as was expected. And I'm trying to get to this game here. Man, there's so many college football games here. But what we've got right now is a situation where this thing's ceilinged out. And this is why I wanted to talk about it. I grabbed the 8.5. Now, I don't like to do the early betting. I'm not going to go try to pull an arbitrage or, bet the other side. I don't want to tie my money up like that. If I got to, we are where we are. But we got 92% of the bets and 90% of the cash on the NC State Wolfpack. I mentioned it's a neutral site game. It's going to be Saturday, September 7th at 7:30 p.m. And we got reverse line movement on this total. It opened at 53.5. It's now 60.5. We have 72% of the bets and 65% of the cash on the under. We've seen it go over. Now, Tennessee, I just mentioned Cupcake University. They put the paddle to the backside of Chattanooga, 69-3. That was their Cupcake game. Now, they did play, interesting note, they played a bowl game, right? They played Iowa New Year's Day, and they thumped them 35-0. So the team's been rolling. They got a lot of returning pieces for the squad as well. Now I look at NC State. Well, they played West Carolina. They thumped West Carolina 38-21. The advantage for us is they did not cover. They were laying a 32.5 spot. They kind of got out to a slow start. They couldn't figure out a way to get it done. But I mentioned the neutral site, what's going on with this game, and a big trend for you guys to consider when it comes to this game here. We got two ranked teams, right? We got number 14, Tennessee. We got number 24, NC State. We got a line that's gotten wide, but now it's coming back. So 8.5s this morning are now 7.5s. And we got a monster trend out there. When you're playing a team that's ranked outside of the top 13, in a neutral, in a line that's less than 14, and a total that's over 40. 21-5 in the fade on those teams. Fade away on Tennessee, 21-5. Now, here's the thing about this. The margin of victory is the piece that's so compelling. We're not going to try to come in and get razor thin with a 1-point win. We want to try to find something that's got some fat around it. The margin of victory in this spot, the two ranked teams, but being outside the top 13, 21-5, covering the spread by 8.5 points. Well, think about it. If you got 7.5 and you're covering by 8.5, there's a 1. What do those teams do in those spots when they're sitting out there playing on the money line? In the dog roll, they're 18-8. And they're covering the spread by a field goal here. Keep our eyes on the NC State Wolfpack. That's a big number in their advantage. 21-5, covering by 8.5. We're getting over a tutty and a hook. This game should be a field goal type of situation. And I think the wrong team is going to be favored in this spot. I think NC State's going to battle. It's going to be a gritty ground and pound, control the clock, see how far they can get against this thing. And I like it. I think it's a good opportunity with those points. Like I said, 8.5s, now 7.5s. Probably not going to want to wait much longer to take advantage of the NC State Wolfpack. And then Google, there's a dude that does, he dresses up like a linebacker, and he's got the shoulder pads, and he looks like Ray Lewis. It's the Ray Lewis imitator guy. And he does a Ray Lewis speech, but he talks about the NC State Wolfpack. He always says, "What's wrong with the Wolfpack?" Nothing wrong with Wolfpack this week. I think the wrong team's favored there. Big opportunity to take a shot with the NC State Wolfpack. And last but not least, you guys, I shared some of this stuff with you guys yesterday. A couple of you reached out and said, "Hey, that was pretty cool. We like to kind of see some of these numbers." This is just some of the information that I've come across as I start to build out my NFL card. I got the big circuit thing going on. We got a bunch of things happening out there. We got the survivor pool. Lots of things that have to start getting figured out for the NFL. We can't wait until Sunday. But we can look at a couple of these spots early. These are quarterbacks in the first week of the season against the spread. And you'll see the list. led by none other than Aaron Rodgers. Sitting there, most accomplished on the list here. He's got the most number of starts underneath his belt. He's sitting at 10-6 in week ones against the spread. The Jets are playing the Niners on Monday Night Football. Is the Super Bowl hangover real? Is the Aaron Rodgers going to come back and be ready to go coming off of the Achilles? Well, 62% of the bets and 63% of the cash on the Jets. The line has moved. 5 has come down to 4. Has now come down to 3.5 as well. And that's with a 22,062 ticket sample. Plenty of sample for being a Monday night football game. They're not doing 2 Monday night games this year, if you guys will recall, because they have the Eagles playing on Friday night. The Eagles winning on Friday night against the Green Bay Packers. Now we look at some other teams here. Jared Goff running the Goffense. He's 7-0. What's interesting, the Rams are playing the Lions. The Lions at -3. Money coming in on the Rams. 34% of the bets, 48% of the cash on the Lions. This line's moved from 3 to 3.5. Starting to see reverse line movement. You're now getting the field goal with the hook on the Lions. Keep your eyes on how that line moves, because that's going to be one of those ones you want to pull the trigger on. If it drops back to 3 for some reason, I think that's the right spot there with the field goal for the Lions. We look at Derek Carr. Now, Derek Carr is playing for Atlanta this year. New squad, new spot, new lease on life. Probably still the same bum. You know, we look at the Falcons playing the Steelers. We talked about the Steelers yesterday. I like the fit of Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh. Yet here we go. Pros versus Joe. 74% of the bets on the Steelers. Line's gone from -2 to -3.5. We have 58% of the bets on the Falcons. There's no move for me. That Derek Carr number is just too tight. We look at, the Thursday nighter. You can see there's Jackson and Mahomes. I'll be talking about this game on Pregaming, so we have plenty of time to digest it. I've been pulling together some great numbers on both sides of these teams. Kind of an early split in how this thing's looking, but the under seems to be the spot that shines through to me the most, despite these two teams. And then we look and we've got what I thought were 2 surprises on the list. Tua Tagovailoa, 3-0. I'll share some numbers with him too later this week that will surprise you guys in terms of how he has been attacking the offense in this air raid game. With the addition of the new pieces, A-Chain is certainly a capable, quality running back out there. And we got the Jags. The Jags and the Dolphins, -3.5. Starting to come down. 59% of the bets on the Jaguars. 65% of the cash on the Dolphins. Numbers starting to come down to 3. Is it going to be a pick 'em by the time we get to game time? If you're thinking about the Jaguars, just concern yourselves with Tua. I think there's a live bet spot there if they do fall behind for sure. And then Kyler Murray was probably the biggest surprise for me on the list. And he's playing the Bills. Now, this is a revenge game because if you remember, the Bills lost to the Cardinals. It was late second heroics. And now Kyler Murray's going on the road to Buffalo. Going to be beautiful conditions out there. And we've got line movement towards the Cardinals. Surprise, surprise, these quarterbacks with these trends, I'm telling you guys, all tie back together with line movement for you guys to start to concern yourselves with early. But maybe it'll help you with your survivor pools. Maybe it'll help you with your pick'ems. 7s, now 6s out there. There's still a bunch of 6.5s, but there's 6s out there now. It's come down off that field or that touchdown. The key number of 7 is so big in football. We have 61% of the bets and 66% of the cash on the Cardinals. We know Kyler's back. We know they've done a great job in the draft, picking up all kinds of weapons out there. And we got a total that's on the rise from 71% of the bets and 78% of the cash on the over. I like the over. I like points in that game for sure. Going to be interesting to see how Josh Allen battles out there against Kyler Murray. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 quarterbacks that you guys should concern yourselves with for week number 1. That's how we're going to get it done, you guys. That's how we're going to battle with the books tonight. We got some look-aheads for college football. We got some look-aheads for the NFL. Cameron Sinnett. So the Wolfpack defense looked too sloppy for me to bet. I love that they didn't cover because that number opens up wider than it should be. Chris Ellis says, I don't like that Detroit minus 3.5 or buy down to 3. You know, I did mention this the other day. Somebody hit me up and they said, you know, I'm thinking about buying this LSU spot down 2 points. And my response was, if you're buying them down 2 points, then that tells you that you should be playing the other side. Pretty basic, right? Pretty basic math. That's why the teasers, I like teasers. I'll do NFL teasers. I'll do teasers typically with sides more than totals. We'll see how I validate that statement as we continue to grow together. But for me, it's more of an opportunity to take as many points as I can get. You know, any of that kind of theory of let me take a couple points off the side of this, unless you're buying back against movement. I guess that's one way to look at it. But if you're concerned about the 6 and you want to buy it down to a 4, you probably should be taking it 6 or buying it up to an 8 on the other side of it. So, yeah, Brian agrees with me. If you're going to buy a point, you got the wrong side. I agree. So it's going to be fun to talk with you guys about how this thing evolves as we go. I got to go. We got 7:40 p.m. We're getting live with the fellas. We're going to do this contender series for week number 4. Circle on back through. Go refresh. Go get your bets placed. Get your drinks filled. Get back in here and let's